Well, it's another Friday evening, folks. Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast. My name is Johnny Bottles. To my left is Dr. Don Wayne, the neckbeard psychologist on Twitter.
On overtime pay today.
Overtime pay.
Jesus.
Where do you hear these stories?
God almighty.
It's an S show. But then again, we travel with S because, according to the comments of the disgruntled neckbeards, we're scat enthusiasts, if you know what scat means. Go ahead, Don. What do you got for us? I know you got a great story. It's welling up in the back of your brain. Go ahead.
Well, first off, I want to say we got bad news coming out of the gate that we got to talk about. It's breaking everywhere. It's gone to shit. Just when you think you've got everything lined up in wrestling, somebody goes and gets hurt. Seth Rollins tore his MCL and has a partially torn meniscus.
They've announced that. I've been dark off the internet for
that has officially been announced.
3 hours.
He is he's going to be gone. So everything we thought we might know heading into WrestleMania has officially been turned upside down, right? I mean, now you've got a championship with no champion. And you've got a pay-per-view coming up in 2 weeks that you now have to scramble because now you've got to replace a bunch of matches. You got to replace a bunch of angles. I'm almost positive, and you are too, that was going to be CM Punk and Seth Rollins at Mania.
Absolutely.
It made the most sense.
That was the plan.
I mean, God almighty, dude.
Terrible luck. He's got the luck of Charlotte Flair, who did the same thing to her knee. Just when her husband gets re-signed, and they could travel together and go to the shows together.
Supposedly he's going to, and yes, if they'd have done the title change last Monday, I mean, we might have been ahead of the curve, but it is what it is.
Well, you know what's going to happen, Don. I'm going to tell you right now what's going to happen. This is my prediction. It's not a spoiler. It's just a prediction. I believe he's going to come out on Monday and make the announcement that his knee's messed up. And somebody's going to come to the ring with a referee and a briefcase.
Ooh.
Can they do that? That's how you solve that problem.
That would be pretty
you
sweet.
Solve that problem.
That would be pretty.
And
if
after,
he can go. Can he go?
Can he go? Can he go? Can he get knocked down and get pinned? Of course he can. Can he get knocked down and put in a Boston Crab?
Oh, hell
with
no.
a bad leg?
I mean, if you've got a torn meniscus, you can make it worse, dude. Like whatever they do, they've got to sell it quick. Like I like the idea. That's a brilliant idea. I mean, the room chat's all about it too. Oh, I'm leaving. No, that's a good idea.
I'm the internet wise man, pal. Go ahead,
dude. How can you do that though to keep him safe from further injuring it? He's going to be out at least 6 to 8 months now, no matter what.
If it's jacked up now, it can't get any worse.
Well, no, it can because the meniscus is torn. It's partially torn. You can make that worse.
I'm talking about the. You can wrestle without a meniscus. They can inject. There's some kind of platelets or something like that. They can inject to the head of your bone with a little horse needle. I've torn my meniscus before, and they wanted to do that to me, and I said I'll take my chances with half a meniscus. So I've been walking around for years with half a meniscus.
Damian Priest has the briefcase, by the way.
Damian Priest has the briefcase. And then with that being said, who takes on Damian Priest at the Royal Rumble?
I don't know. Ron says he read 2 to 3 months. Ron, if he comes back from a torn MCL in 3 months, he's ahead of the curve because I've never seen that. A completely torn meniscus. Partially, yes. You can come back. No, this completely torn, they say. They've got to have surgery to reseal.
Right.
That's like 6 to 8, weeks or 6 to 8 months, in my opinion, just to get it fully healed.
Mm-hmm.
That sucks, dude, because I was really looking forward to seeing him in this Punk angle go all the way down. Damian Priest, I like him, and I hope he finally gets a run with this thing. He's got charisma. Him on the microphone has gotten better and better over the last year. I mean, the voice is absolutely amazing. He's got that baritone kick-your-ass voice.
Just think about the promos with the Judgment Day and CM Punk. For a title shot, he could have CM Punk go through every member of the Judgment Day to get to him.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. He
and
could
you could hold that feud. You could have that feud coast
all the way heading
WrestleMania.
up to WrestleMania. Yeah, you got to go through the entire Judgment Day to get to him.
Right, and if Rollins is healed up for SummerSlam, it could be if Punk's got the belt. It could be Punk versus Rollins for a belt that he never lost.
But here's the key, though, to what you said. If you're going to have that kind of thing go down, you've got to do it before he announces he vacates it. Because once he says those magic words, I vacate the title, then it's null and void. But I like that idea. My idea was a little different. I thought about maybe having it at the Rumble. And the winner of the Rumble for the first time in 30 years is your new WWE heavyweight champion. And then you have Damian Priest come out and attack the guy.
Put the belt with, and then have him get jumped right away by Damian Priest.
Yes, and cash it in right there. Right there. Punk wins.
Gable can say that, Chad Gable can say, I've won the belt.
No, I would have Punk. I would have Punk win the title. And then out of nowhere, Priest cashes in and beats his ass. He gets jumped by the entire squad. Here comes a cash in. But
so he's the last guy in the Rumble. Punk will be the last guy in the Rumble.
CM Punk wins the Rumble, wins the belt, and then you have the cash in.
Cody's already won the Rumble. He won the Rumble last year for the shot at Roman
Reigns. That's why he doesn't need to win it again.
He doesn't need to win it again. He needs to win the Elimination Chamber. So he can pick who he wants to fight at WrestleMania, and it will be Roman Reigns. That's the match right there. That should be the reward.
That should be the reward, is the winner of the Elimination Chamber is now going to face the Universal Champion.
I like it.
Either way, we both have the same agreement. And yes, Drew versus Priest has been the storyline, but Ron, things change, man. When you get an injury like this, you got to start shuffling the deck. You can also go with Drew versus Cody leading into the Chamber, so that you've already got three natural guys wanting to wrestle each other. We're getting way too far in the booking. The hell are we doing right now?
Drew versus Priest. So you could do that. You could vamp that for a while on Raw. And then have Punk win the Rumble. And then it could be Drew, and Punk is the last two. And Punk puts Drew out. So now he's pissed off at Punk because he ruined his WrestleMania moment.
If we're getting into this, here's what I would do. Damian Priest comes into the Rumble as an entrant, and then steps over the top rope and eliminates himself. So he saves himself for the cash in. And everybody goes, what the hell is that about? What is that about? And they have the Judgment Day throw their hands up like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Right? And then he comes back later. It was all a ploy. They beat the hell out of CM Punk, take the title. There's your WrestleMania rematch. We get our moment as fans.
You're right.
All right. Well,
I love it. I dig it. I enjoy it. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it.
The cash-in, though, has got to happen now.
It's got to happen.
It has to. Has to happen.
He's had it too long.
Daniel Garcia made some news today.
Then The Rock doesn't have to win the Rumble to face Roman. Correct. I don't think The Rock's going to... Well, I don't think The Rock's going to face Roman at WrestleMania. I think that he's going to face him at the Chamber. That's what I think.
Oh, my God. He said it's a swerve, bro.
That's a swerve. Swerve Strickland? Punk wins the Rumble, and the Chamber match crowns a new champion. Cody, Jay, Priest, Drew, Sammy, and Gunther. Gunther in the Chamber. Interesting.
Yeah, but here's the other thing that we talked about that as well.
Hang on a second. You know what? You know what's going to happen soon.
I don't.
Brock Lesnar is coming into the Royal Rumble. Where does he fit into all this? I know they made a lot of noise.
It's Gunther. It's
Gunther, and I think Brock wants to face Gunther as something different. Brock's getting paid the same amount of money, regardless of whether he's a heavyweight champ or intercontinental champ. He's getting paid the same amount of money.
Hold on, because we've had this discussion, and I've given you my idea. At either the Rumble or the Elimination Chamber, at the Rumble, Gunther gets eliminated Brock gets eliminated by Gunther. At the next pay-per-view, when Gunther defends his title, Brock comes out and costs him the title. Then you've got an angle. Then you've got a reason they got to fight at WrestleMania. It's personal now between both of them. This son of a bitch eliminated me from the Royal Rumble. This son of a bitch cost me a title.
And that's the way of getting the title off of Gunther so he can
without
challenge.
Making him look bad. Exactly.
So he could challenge for the heavyweight strap.
Later on,
and that's
yes.
a whole new kettle of fish that can be opened up at SummerSlam.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't hurt either one of them.
We could have a separate show on this channel, booking the Federation. We could do that. We could book them all.
I hear some booking news.
Book them, Dano.
Daniel Garcia said his contract is up this year, but he's focused on staying with AEW.
Who's going to have him?
He's not leaving AEW, dude. Who's
going to have him? And everybody talks about Johnny Gargano as being Johnny's same face. I've yet to see Daniel Garcia change expression.
He's the same guy. He's the same guy.
Same guy. Usually he's got that marijuana haze face. Like he's in a haze. He's in a daze. Not that I would know about that.
Larry said the booking show's already out there. It's called X.
That's right. Exactly.
Formerly Twitter. Thank you guys again for joining us. Like and subscribe. We appreciate it. We started the show off because breaking news happened, but we do have a singular focus tonight, this evening.
A singular focus on two people. We're going to get to it in a minute
because I got one more thing.
What's up, pal? What do you got, pal?
What was it out here? The official poster for the Elimination Changer has been released.
Really? And what is it?
Yeah. It's just Mommy on the cover. It's only her. She's it. She's the only thing on there.
For the Elimination Chamber.
She's it.
Yes, because she's Australian. What is it? What'd you just say?
They're leaving us as wide open as they can.
Oh, okay. I thought you said she was as wide open as she can.
No, brother. Look.
I didn't know what you're saying. Brother.
You better calm down, brother. Jey Uso is supposed to win the Intercontinental title. That could work. I could see that.
That is a rumor going around. That is a hot rumor going around. Yes, Ron.
We got to get there. But yes, that's that makes sense from a marketing standpoint. Put the cover girl out there. She's going to wrestle. I'm excited about it. Also,
Marijuana Hayes sounds like a 1930s mobster. No, Larry, that's Michael P.S. Hayes' Hispanic half-sister. Marijuana Hayes.
Marijuana. The Warner Brothers came out today and made an announcement. Warner Brothers Discovery. Said their annual TV upfronts will take place on May 15th.
Oh. So that's what they're waiting for.
So that's a little juicy tidbit that we got today. That's I don't know if they're going to announce a new contract with WWE before then, but we've been told that's who they've agreed with. The longer this goes on, the more concerned I get about this whole thing. I don't care who gets it or one way or the other, but I will guarantee you both those companies do. I will guarantee you they would both like to get this done as quickly as possible. So we've been waiting on that.
The last we heard today was the fact that they were haggling over some minutia in the contracts, whether that's for possible streaming in the future. Let's say, they're with Peacock till 2025 for streaming their product. They can easily segue over to the HBO Max. Well, it's not called HBO Max anymore. It's just called Max.
Which is what a lot of people call Cinemax,
which is very confusing. But
and that's what we were told they're trying to do is get streaming. Bring that over and have the PLEs on the HBO Max deal. So, and yes, I know Rollins gets hurt a little bit, but when you wrestle his style, man, he comes off that top rope a lot. He does a lot of athletic stuff. Maybe it's time for him to tone it down so that he's not having those matches every day or every time he's out there on Raw. It's time to save those for the big matches, man. Come off the top rope every now and then. Don't do it every damn time you're on television. You gotta. When you get a little bit older, man, get into that 4 digit on the scorecard. It's a little more injury prone.
Exactly.
So I guess we're going to get into it now. We're starting to get some questions on the Hardys. First question out is, do you think Jeff Hardy will return to the WWE?
He wants to go there right now. He wants to be there right now.
And that's sort of where we're headed here is this discussion.
Yes. You would have started off, or would you like
go ahead, man. You go ahead. I mean, you started off last night, and I said, we should save this for today. But the downfall of the Hardys has been oncoming now for several years between Jeff Hardy getting arrested again, Matt Hardy damn near breaking his skull, doing the dumbest stunt I've ever seen off a scaffold in the history of ever. I don't know who talked him into that. The blink technology that he had that we don't have, where he can appear at one place and then an ice cooler the next. The terrible angles he was involved in. Go ahead. And now we're getting the tweets from all sides of the Hardy camp.
All sides of the Hardy camp.
All sides of the Hardy camp is
trouble in
blowing
River
up.
City.
It really
River
is.
City.
And, it's not, I see SoFly.
You're right, SoFly. You're right.
I don't know that I don't think I want him back either, but it's not because I don't like the guy. It's because looks like he's going to kill himself with every swanton he does now. Every time he tries to climb the ropes, he's a slip and fall accident waiting to happen. Somebody get him one of those old school 80s beepers, the first alert things, because he's getting to where he's going to need one. Help, I've fallen and I can't get out of the ring. He's going to need that.
And then you're going to have Matt walking around with those big caps going, Matt? Jeff! Matt? Jeff? Oh, I'm Matt. Where's Jeff?
With his legs on backwards, as you have
with
so
his legs on backwards. The man cannot go up and down a flight of stairs.
He cannot bend them knees. He walks with his legs out like this, like a hooker that's been rode hard and put away wet.
God almighty. It's like he rode a burro to the show.
It is.
Before he got into the ring. That's what he looks like.
And we got into it a little bit with
Ed 209, as Larry says. Yes, Ed 209.
It is.
Ed 209 never had a set of caps like Matt Hardy. They're pearly white. The best piano keys in the business. Right there in his yap. Go ahead.
They were going on and on earlier this year, if you remember, about how great Tony Khan was. This was just, 4 or 5 months ago at most.
Dude.
Where they were just
like baby goats suckling at the hind teat of Tony Khan. No matter what he did, it was fantastic. It was great. Ring the bell, Larry. It was great. Just great. And they were swinging from the Tony Khan teat. And now, look at them now. Look at them now. Matt Hardy has a podcast. And he was just, he would pitch ideas on the podcast. He'd talk about different things he could do, he wanted to do. And now it's all falling to shit. Because they're not getting what they want. They want another run on top. They want the tag team championships in a company with the Young Bucks. You are not going to get those tag team championships. These guys, you got to take into consideration the physical condition that they're in. Multiple concussions, multiple spinal and neck injuries from the
multiple DUIs.
Multiple DUIs.
Mr. T says Seth is injury prone. It's Jeff Hardy's mugshot prone.
Mr. T23, you've won the wrestling internet for the day, sir. I'll send you a gift later on if you've got a Twitter handle. I'll send you a picture of something special.
But keep going. Sorry, I had to put that out there. That was
at any rate, and that picture would be Mae Young topless. But at any rate, if you want to see it, you've seen that before. I think I've sent that to you before.
Yes, and I never want to see it again.
Yeah.
Don't show me your private collection.
Of 90-year-old ex-lady wrestlers? Yes.
Look at the hand.
the hand inside. He's a safecracker now. Her son grew up to be a safecracker. He's doing hard times. Five-Finger Charlie. But anyway, what they've been wrestling since they were teenagers, and the same kind of style. They were jumping off rooftops on the trampolines in their backyard. It was just absolutely outrageous what they would do.
It was crazy.
When he went to the big leagues, they still wrestled that same crazy Daredevil style. Jeff Hardy, despite all the back problems, lower back problems, still does that swanton bomb. Matt Hardy stopped doing that top rope leg drop because maybe about 10 years ago, his what's the word I'm looking for? The coccyx bone. He's got severe arthritis in his hips and the coccyx bone, and the sacroiliac, which is right above that. I'm no chiropractor, but I know my bones there, pal, in the hips, and because I got a hip problem, and I walk like I don't walk like Matt Hardy. I won't say that. But
when you dive off the top of a cage at a match to do your leg drop, I mean, what the hell are you expecting is going to happen?
You have to expect what's going to happen. You got to expect. You're going to get what you get, and just years. Look at Hogan doing the leg drop. All the back problems and hip problems.
But again, he was wrestling 300 nights a week, though, and he was doing that. I mean, 300 nights a week and doing a leg drop, that's going to add up when you're 6'6", 6'7",
dude,
300 pounds.
The Hardys were in the Ruthless Aggression era in WWE. 2000, 2002, right around there. What's that humble Jeff and Matt just need to become coaches or producers. They don't want to do that. They don't want to do that. They want another.
SoFly said the same thing, and that's the issue, right? That's the issue. They don't want to do that. They think they still have it in the ring.
They think they can still do it, and that's why they're relegated to Rampage, because they can hardly move in the ring. And they figure whatever those guys do to screw things up, Rampage is always a tape show. We'll edit it out. We'll make it look good. Although I haven't seen that lately, because I've seen them on Rampage, their last match on Rampage, and it was a bloody shit show.
My God. And you hadn't seen it. I told you. I just saw the highlights. I was like, dude, you got to see this shit.
Matt got down to all fours in front of a guy who's pinned in the corner, facing out. And Jeff's going to do the whisper in the wind, or whatever. Now, what is it? Where he runs, jumps on Matt's back, and does a Stinger splash on top of the guy.
I think it's called the nuts in your face.
He almost got the guy's nuts in his face.
He really
hit the guy. He hit the guy's face, hit him right in the abs.
Yeah, I thought he almost broke his damn neck.
You told me that. We watched that together, didn't we?
Yeah. It looked like he almost broke his damn neck.
Like two bored married men on a Friday night. We watched Page together. And we laughed about how awkward it all looked. But it was sad to see.
Very sad.
It was sad to see. And he still tries to do the swanton bomb off the top rope. Caps Hardy. He made he's got the smarts now, because he's got his bell rung so many times. Something must have clicked where I'm not going off that top turnbuckle anymore. I'm not going to drop that leg anymore. And he stopped doing that, but he does a side effect.
But we were talking about this
twist of fate. It just looks terrible. But go ahead, Don.
Yes. Yeah, his legs, when he does a twist of fate, it's like, Jesus Christ, did anything bend at all, or did it all just break? When he does that, I look at his knees, I'm like, no, don't do that ever again. Holy shit.
It looks like
it was 3 rows deep when he was done. Kneecap
he looks like a praying mantis with polio. It's terrible.
So we were getting into with the Hardys and their tribe 4 months ago, I think, or so, where they were at, like you said, they were at the teat of Tony Khan, going about how great the booking was, how great everything was going. I was like, dude, they're literally ruining you right now. They're wasting any kind of a shot that they have with you right now. You should not be wrestling on Wednesday nights against no-name idiots. They should be having you, because you don't have a lot of matches left in you. Come out, cut a promo, get the hell out of there, and challenge whoever's the champion. That's what they should have been doing. And instead, they wanted to tell us we were idiots. All their fans jumped all over our shit, how wrong we were. They were being used great. And where are we now 3-4 months later? They got used up in bad angles, and they're both sitting on Friday nights where nobody watches. It's not we weren't trying to. We didn't hate the Hardys. It's just they don't have that much left in them anymore. You need to save this.
Last week, he posted a tweet and on his Instagram feed, Jeff Hardy, that, hello, we are the Hardys. Unfortunately, we will not be on AEW Dynamite tonight. We have been trapped in the dimension of Rampage for what seems like forever. And see us there on Friday night, or something like that he posted. I don't have the actual... I looked for it before the show, and I don't have the actual tweet anymore. I deleted it. It looks like you stick poles in cement buckets for your yard tent. That's his movement. You're exactly right. It's sad to say. But they are, from the style they work, they are two broken down men. And I'll say it, and it's a matter of public record. Matt Hardy had an alcohol problem. Jeff Hardy had a pill and booze problem.
Lots of problems.
And lots of problems. Unable to contact an Uber is one. Because if I had his money, I would just Uber wherever I got to go.
Why are we doing this? You can get
Why
Uber,
are you trying to drive? Why are you drinking Fireball whiskey at 6 o'clock in the morning and trying to drive from Florida to Georgia where you live? Why do that?
I don't get it either. Alexander said, imagine the Hardy Boys working 300-day schedules in WWE that they did in the late 90s. They were working those schedules. I saw them wrestle a lot. The Undertaker and Kane.
A lot of people don't realize that the Hardys came out with a man named Doc Hendricks when they debuted in the WWE. And you know who Doc Hendricks is? He was the Duke.
He's a freebird, baby. He's a freebird.
He was a freebird, but when he came to the WWE, he was Doc Hendricks, and he was the guy who would host the live cutaways on the syndicated shows, telling you about
the live wire. He did
the
live wire.
He had live wire too, and He would also do the cutaways in the control center as to where they're going to be, who's going to be there, all around the country. Doc Hendricks was the manager of the Hardys when they first debuted. It only lasted a couple of weeks. And then he went
I think this went through a couple of months because he was guiding them and giving. He had great ideas. I think it was a couple of months because he had great ideas with them, but they finally dropped him when his last idea was, what you need to do, guys? What you need to do, guys, is get some damn long coats, and I want you to tie some silverware on the coats when you come out like a bunch of forks and spoons and shit. And they're like, all right, thanks, Doc. We're done. We're gonna go on our own way now. I don't know what the hell that's going. He had some good shit that day, pal. Good speed.
Wow.
Get some damn forks and some spoons and glue that shit on some coats. That'll be cool.
I don't think that was speed, pal. I think that might have been a Tony Khan special that he was on that.
It might have been. It might have been. So there was some other stuff going on too backstage. It's just the on-screen drama that Matt Hardy's wife is putting out there is insane at this point in time.
Would you like to see some of that?
Go ahead, because it's just nuts, dude. If you are having problems at home and you're posting it on social media, number one, you're an asshole. I don't care if you're a guy or a girl. You're an asshole for doing that.
I'll show what I showed last night for those who didn't see it. Hang on a second. I have to click my 15 buttons here just to show something on the screen.
I mean, a week ago, this is from her out there.
This is from her TikTok. Trying to talk to my husband, but his brain is fried from CTE. Now, when he had that match with Sammy Guevara in AEW, and he fell backwards off that scaffold and hit his head on the concrete floor. What happened there was she's watching the pay-per-view. She called Tony Khan and went ballistic, telling him to go and stop the show, stop the match, get him out of there. And Aubrey Edwards, Don Stevens, walked over and asked him if he was okay. And, yeah, I'm okay. She let him go. She's also the same person.
Safest company in wrestling.
When Tegan Knox broke her knee and tore every ligament in it when she was in NXT during the Mae Young Classic a few years back, well, probably 6-7 years back, Aubrey Edwards was the NXT referee. She was going through the NXT system, and she did not stop the match. She asked Tegan Knox if she was okay, and Tegan Knox was crying, said she was fine, and she couldn't stand up. And she tried to do a few more moves, and her opponent got her, and further aggravated the injury. And that was the last time you saw Aubrey Edwards in a WWE ring again. That's why she hates the WWE, and she's in AEW now. A lot of people don't realize that, but it's a matter of public record. You can see it on YouTube. So,
yeah, it's this whole thing has gotten out of hand, and that concussion, dude. I mean, she went over, like Larry said, she went over and asked him, "Hey, Matt, are you okay? Where are you right now?" Jupiter. Okay, we need to end this now.
Look at him. He looks like I don't know. We really can't take something like this out of context. We can only take it for granted that she was trying to talk to him. His brain's fried.
This was in AEW. Sorry, not WWE. Aubrey Edwards has always been in AEW.
Yeah, well, she was in WWE in NXT. I just
Aubrey
told you
Edwards
this.
Was?
Hello?
I thought you misspoke to me.
Is my microphone volume up? Not like last night. Can you hear me down?
I never saw her in NXT.
You never watched NXT?
Well, that's true too.
It was during the Mae Young Classic in a Tegan Knox match. She was a referee. And that's what happened. She did not stop the match. You can look for that match on YouTube, folks, if you don't believe me like Don does it. In the back of his mind, I can hear the gears grinding away.
I'm clicking my ass off.
She was in NXT.
Yeah, she was. I'm looking at it. Wow. I'll be damned. Johnny had taught me something again.
Stick. I told you this weeks ago that she was in NXT.
Dude. Look, you spoke a lot of funny stuff. Sometimes I don't know if you're there or not.
I'm not sure how I feel about this podcast right now.
Oh, yeah. You want to go there?
They may interrupt this stream for what I'm about to say.
Anyway, I'm disappointed in what's happening off the stage with the Hardys, man. I saw them wrestle some of the greatest, most.
We're not done. We're not done with Ruby Hardy.
I'm just saying. This is sad. What's happening? What else did I mean? She's been tweeting, or not tweeting, but social media and her face off. She's all over the place with it, man. She's all over the place with it.
Well, you can't stop her. Here's another TikTok. Let me hit play. When Matt Hardy does me dirty for the last time.
Think you the shit, bitch? You not even the fuck. I be going hard.
Wow. Hey, Edge. Wow. Wow.
Yes.
And if anybody knows the issues that Matt Hardy has had with Edge behind the scenes, let me get you caught up. He boinks all of his ex-girlfriends. Edge goes fishing in Matt's pond a lot.
Yeah, Matt was dating Lita, and he brought her into the WWE, as a matter of fact. She was aligned with the Hardy Boys. She would come out, not as a manager, but just as a valet. Then she got to wrestling. Originally she was paired up with, what's that luchador? Well, S.A. Rios. S.A. Rios was a luchador. They changed his name, of course. I forgot what luchador he was. Someone out there probably knows. They brought him up without his mask, and he put on some great matches, and his big finishing move was a moonsault. Then when he won the match, Lita would go up on the top rope and do a moonsault. Well, S.A. Rios wasn't getting over. They took Lita away from him, relegated him to Superstars, and she came out with the Hardy Boys all the time.
And she became an instant success in that group.
Yes.
She
dressed like them, acted like them,
young,
did the dance like
group.
them.
I mean, young, attractive group, just everything you wanted in a wrestling star.
And Matt dated Lita. And Edge was in the company also. And he was a married man with, I think he had a child. I can't speak to that.
I don't know that he had a child. I know they were married.
You don't think so? Okay, well, he was married then. And he was running around behind his wife's back with Lita when she was running around behind Matt's back. And there was a big to-do. A big ruckus was raised in the WWE locker room. And Matt actually got released.
Yes.
He got released
because he was acting like a psycho.
Yes. And then Vince heard about the whole story and said, well, what if we brought him back? What if we brought it back? But he's got to wrestle Edge.
Dude, that's such a
the whole thing into an angle.
Power move. That's such a Vince McMahon power move. Hey, you know what, pal? There's a goddamn dollar to be made here. Call him back and get him in here. I want him and Edge to hug it out right after they fight. So what else did old Reba say? What else has she been out there going crazy about? Because I don't remember anything else at this point in time. I think we covered most of it. Did we not?
Rebby Hardy video. I gotta put up here.
There's another one?
There's another one, pal.
God, man.
I have no idea what this is about, pal.
You don't even know what this video is about?
It's hang on. It wants me to sign up for TikTok. Hang on.
All right, well, screw that.
No, I'm going to run it in a small window.
All right, well, whatever.
We'll run this in a small window then.
Well, let's go. We have a captive audience. TikTok sucks. This is why I like Twitter so much more. TikTok is for the kids today.
Okay.
What the hell is this? What is she doing? What the hell was that?
Second from the top. It says, point of view, Dracula's wife is taking a bath. That's her house. That's her.
This is how they live?
Yeah.
I've seen enough. Get this off my screen. I've seen enough. So, no, look, after seeing that, no wonder maybe Matt Hardy's fucking cracking. Living with something like that. Good Lord, dude. I'm with you so far. I mean, she's crazy as hell, too. They're all nuts. They all belong together. There was
a big outrage on social media about the fact that she's putting all her business out there. And she basically told everybody to go F off. It's her social media.
Insane.
She'll post what she wants. And I can't fault her for that. She can put out there whatever she wants to do.
And that doesn't mean I can't judge her.
As long as it's within the limit of the law.
Larry said he's sliding in DMs if she's that goddamn crazy.
She's that crazy, Larry. And, it's fairly close to you. You're there, Georgia. I don't know how long it'll take you to get there, but
what a nut job, man. She's crazy. So that's all I had for the Hardys, man. I got nothing else. It's sad that everything's getting posted on social media. There's no private life. Matt Hardy can't wrestle, and Jeff Hardy is bitching about their spot in the AEW show. And when they first got there, man, all they want to do is praise Tony Khan. He's so great. He's using us great. And then Matt Hardy's had bad angle after bad angle aftre bad angle. Remember when he was doing the manager deal? How bad did that suck when he was a manager? Because he is not the best promo guy ever.
They realized that he couldn't go in the ring. He couldn't go in the ring in solo matches. So they said, let's make him a manager. And that's what they did. And it did work out. Maybe he's got a good idea man. Maybe he's a good idea man in professional wrestling. Who knows? He resurrected his career solo with that delete shit that he would do. And when he was dressed like Ludwig von Beethoven, and with the weird hair and the velvet jackets and all that stuff, the Victorian look, and the teleporting gimmick. That's right, SoFly.
The chat's out of control. They're
shitting all over the Hardy Boys. They're shitting all over. It should just be poop emojis through the entire chat. But
Alexander just said something that's been on my mind and yours. We've talked about this.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. We have talked about that.
I am concerned that violence is going to come out of this entire situation and be damaging for everybody involved. So,
well, if you believe in speculation and conjecture, from what I gather off of social media and off the internet, that Matt Hardy was having a convivial relationship. You like that word? A convivial relationship with a young lady who's probably not that young. She works for AEW. And she hasn't been on TV in a long time. But she works backstage also. So
is she also a dentist?
And she's not a dentist, but her first name is almost spelled just like Matt's wife's first name. So I think maybe he's got the two confused.
Maybe. He's just
They're off by one letter. It's off by the CT. He's off by one letter. But with those guys right now, they're unhappy with their place in the company. They want one more run on top. And who could give Jeff Hardy? Look, you've got Matt, who's no good by himself. You got to have Jeff with him. That's the whole act. Those two guys together.
Well, that's just it.
But you can't count on Jeff.
Them together. They can't. If they're not together, they're no good. They're no good separate. They're no good separate.
Exactly. Absolutely. And you can't take a chance on Jeff Hardy.
No, not anymore. He's burned everybody so many times. Once was a mistake. Twice was a relapse. This is like 3, 4, 5 now. It's over. It's over. It's
WWE,
to realize it's it.
The WWE, keep in mind this, Vince McMahon let Kurt Angle, one of his biggest stars ever, walk.
Yeah.
Because of his off-screen issues.
Because he could not get clean. He could not do it.
Couldn't get clean. He would get on that plane during his biggest moments in WWE. Not this last run, whatever he was doing, where he was all bent over and couldn't stand up straight.
Where he turned his entire body to turn his head.
Yes, and his knees were bent, almost like Matt Hardy's. But at the peak of his career in WWE, they would bring him out of a cab or out of a limo in a wheelchair, wheel him inside the airport. They had a handler for him. Wheel him inside the airport. Get him checked on a plane in a wheelchair. And when the thing was over, when the flight landed, wheel him off in a wheelchair and wheel him to his car or to whoever was driving him. He was a basket case. He couldn't move. But when the camera came on, when he walked up in a gorilla position, he was ready to roll.
He could do that.
He could do that. He could get that worked up and roll. But off camera, he was just a basket case. And Jeff Hardy, who can count on that guy? Who can count on him?
Well,
Alexander, it's a miracle he's still alive, and he'll be the first one to tell you.
Oh, yeah, he was popping like 30 oxys, he said, a day. That was crazy.
Yeah. Chewing them like Tic Tacs. Good Lord Almighty. And I got a friend of mine. And the guy he's going to be 75 years old this year. And he had bursitis in his shoulder and just arthritis. And he wasn't an athletic guy. He was a videotape editor for a TV station. And he got hooked on pain pills. And they're called Ultram. Ultram. And he got to take 1 or 2 a day. And one day I picked him up. We were going to go to lunch. And he goes, hey, listen, I got to take a pain pill. He shook out 5 of them out of the container, threw them in his mouth, and washed it down with a glass of water. I said, how many did you just take? 5. I used to take 3, but they're not doing the job anymore. The more you take, the more you're used to it, and they won't do the job
less it
anymore.
works.
You just keep, the less it works, you keep on going.
He would take, just like heroin, chasing that dragon, man. Chasing that dragon.
Take 8 at night before he went to bed and wash it down with a big tumbler of Early Times and a Diet Coke, I think, he would drink. And it got to the point now where he's crushing them up and snorting them with a short straw. And all his friends he's retired. All his friends are absconded. They all left. They're not associating with him anymore. He can't control the sound of his voice because it's affected his hearing.
That's sad. I hope Matt Hardy doesn't turn this way, but I do want to move on to something
doesn't turn
else.
that way. I've got one more video.
Oh, God, no.
This is something that happened at the Rampage tapings, which you and I talked about off camera.
Oh, yes. All right, yes. This is...
don't know if it's going to be broadcasted. Don't know if it's going to be broadcasted.
I guarantee it's not. This is what happened in the WWE when Jeff was on his way out. When he was pilled up, out of his mind, and didn't know what else. I mean, he was just out of his mind, man.
It was a 6-man tag match, and he tagged out and rolled out of the ring and just looked around and started taking off his arm covers that he wears. It's 2 or 3 of them. He took them off and threw them to the crowd, started high-fiving fans.
Throw it. Show it up.
Walked up the steps, and he was gone at the very back door at the top of the steps.
Yeah, he didn't walk the ramp. He walked through the crowd.
This is a Rampage taping, which was taped Wednesday night, and Jeff Hardy thought that someone should have said something a week ago on Dynamite about this match taking place at Rampage. It wasn't a dark match, Larry. It was taped.
In WWE, it was a dark match.
Yeah, it was a dark match. It was a house show. Yeah. No, it was a house show.
It was a house show.
WWE. Right, yes. Yeah, it was a house show. Now, this right here that I'm about to show you guys is the remnant of the Rampage taping where Jeff Hardy is facing Darby Allin, and Darby Allin's idol growing up was Jeff Hardy.
Throw it up.
Hence,
throw it up.
I'm just giving a little backstory here. Hence, all the crazy shit that Darby Allin does in the ring. So, this is what happens.
This is the tape show for tonight, I believe.
Tape show for tonight. I don't know if this will make... Don't know if this is going to air.
There's no way they're going to air this.
They can't. No way. There's no way. And this is cell phone video for somebody who's sitting at ringside. And someone went through a table. See the cursor where I'm moving it around here? There's a broken table at ringside here. So I don't know if that's a remnant from the Samoa Joe hook match or not. This company's so effed up, they probably just didn't clean up all this. Look at all these empty seats.
And just empty everywhere. Just
empty everywhere. Everywhere's empty. There's 2 people, maybe one person deep in this whole area right here. 1 person deep. It gets a little more deeper over here to the right of your screen. But I'm going to play this.
They're in the camera position, so that's where they gathered them at. Hit play so we can see this shit.
We don't know who pinned who, but here you go.
Well, clearly Darby won because he's pointing at him like you're the guy.
No fist bump.
No fist bump.
Jeff! Hey, Jeff!
I mean, this dude has checked the fuck out, Johnny. He has checked out of everything.
He's limping. Yeah.
That's it.
Watch it one more time, and I'll cut it off. No fist bump.
He's gone.
Touch.
And that can be an angle, like that's an angle, but everything about his body language says he is not happy to be here.
Jeff! Hey, Jeff!
Why do grown men feel the need to touch other grown men that are wrestlers? I will never get past this. Why? Don't reach out to another grown man. What the hell is wrong with you, number one? You moron. Why are you trying to touch another grown man, you jackass? That doesn't make any sense. Trying to touch another grown man. Jesus Christ, grow up. The neck beards, dude, they're the worst.
The person that posted this had the caption, in this video, there are 2 depressing things. The empty arena and Jeff Hardy.
The demeanor that Jeff Hardy had, I agree. I don't know if it's a work or not. That not fist bumping, I think, is part of his angle. but just his body language says he's done. Everything he's putting out between his podcast, everything they're doing right now, I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. So it could be nothing. It could be something. If he, I don't know.
Eben said it's not a work. That's his theory. And SoFly thinks it might be an angle. Interesting to see how it plays out. If it makes TV, it's an angle.
Emma even said AEW don't do works. Anyway,
I think if it makes TV, it's a work.
But we'll never know because nobody's watching this shit. Moving on to the Twitter sphere today. Guys, that's my handle. It is Don Wayne at Busted Move. If you want to give me a follow, you want me to follow you, I'll follow back. I don't mind that. I enjoy that. I enjoy the interaction. But there is something that I can't stand in this world, and it's an AEW neckbeard that will never see the failures in their company. We did a show yesterday where while we prefer the WWE product over AEW, we ripped the WWE apart because Monday's show was shit this week.
Right.
I'm not going to rehash what we did. We already went through this. Tony Khan puts tweets out in the universe. And I swear to God, I will never understand why they just take everything Tony Khan tweets at face value and never do any kind of backstory check. They don't check on anything he puts out there. They just run with it like the brainless morons that they are. Case in point, Tony Khan puts up a tweet. We were the #1 cable show, and he does it all the time. He puts it up every damn month, every week when there's the #1 show. We're the #1 show, #1 show here, #1 cable access show, #1 cable show. Tony Khan.
This time he posted it. He posted it this time with the chart.
Yes, to show you they were #1.
Then
what
they weren't
he's
number
not
one.
saying is that they're #1 in a demo, in a demographic. They were #1. In overall ratings, they got smashed by the news channels.
Right.
And I'm not going to get into politics, but the news channel drew 2.3 million. They drew 800.
2.8.
Well, that was the high. I'm talking about what it was, and then the hour leading up was 2.3. I looked at it today. I can send it to you. Trust me. But go ahead. You want to pull that chart up I sent you about the damn the overall AEW horseshit. And yes, Alex, it was Fox News, but I don't do politics. You watch whatever news channel you want. I don't give a shit. But him putting this narrative out every week drives me insane because all he ever says is we were #1, and the neckbeards go, yeah, we're #1 in the cable TV show. Yeah, we're No, you're not. You're not #1 in anything. You had a good demographic in the small area. 18 to 49. I remember that demographic used to be 18 to 35. That's what the demo used to be.
They're not #1 to 1849. They're #1 in the Mountain Dew to Cheetos.
Well, this is true too.
Mountain Dew to Cheetos demographic. That's what they're in.
The only reason I watch anymore, the little bit that I do, is because we do this show. You got the chart you want to throw up there for their quarterly hours last night?
Oh, I got that. Oh, yeah, I got that, buddy. Just calm down a minute. I got it off of somebody else on Twitter. Yeah, just calm your tits, pal.
Hey,
all right,
look.
calm your tits. Like Tony Storm says, calm your tits. Or I'll slug you. I'll sock you right in your box.
I'll sock you in the box.
All right, let me see if I can embiggen this.
It's just insane that this continues to come out every week. And yes, even they are #1 in neckbeards every week.
#1 in neckbeards.
And yes, it's a car crash, SoFly. It's an absolute car crash.
We got the neckbeard demo. Here we go. 1,070,000.
No, that is not their number. Give me the first quarter hour.
1,070,000. That's the first quarter hour.
Second quarter hour.
997,000.
That's the number. That's the number. They held an audience this week. They started with 900 what?
With Dustin Rhodes and Christian Cage, I might add.
Which was weird, right? Like, I didn't want to see that. That was not anything I wanted to see.
Did they think that Dustin Rhodes was actually going to win a belt? He's on his retirement run right now. He's riding this out, and I guarantee you Dustin Rhodes is going to slide on over to a Hall of Fame deal with WWE eventually.
And join his brother.
To a Legends contract. Join his brother. He's a trainer. He could throw him down at NXT. Train people.
What was the last quarter hour?
The last quarter hour was 869,000 from 9:45 to 10 p.m. I'm not talking
that
overrun.
Was Samoa Joe.
That was Samoa Joe versus Hook. And the overrun, the 4-minute overrun, did 931,000.
No overrun is bullshit. That's for anybody tuning into the channel to watch something else.
Hey, where's Transformers 2?
Exactly.
That's what the overrun is.
But
hey, where's the Dark Knight?
What was the number in the second to last quarter hour? Because that was something I focused on today.
754,000. 754,000.
They gained 100,000 viewers on that last.
115,000, Don. And because why? Samoa Joe's a draw.
He's a draw.
That's why that thumbnail yesterday said the AEW needs Samoa Joe because he's the only draw they got.
Samoa. He is. So I want to draw they got left. We talked about it some yesterday. You can take it down now if you would like, sir. But that was the key for me. Is I was like, because that last quarter hour, man, a lot of people bail on wrestling shows. I know if I'm not going to watch that, if it's a shitty match, I'm out of there, man. I'm not going to watch this. I'll check it somewhere else.
Right.
So I get tired of seeing the same bullshit. And look, guys, if you want to, and you see people out there tweeting, we're the number one cable show, call them out for it. No, you weren't. You were the number one in a demo. And they always say the key demo. It's a demographic. I got news for you. There's more people over 50 than under 50 in this country right now. That's already been proven. There's no way you can deny that. Because this generation is not having as many kids. That's just the way it is.
The average wrestling fan age for WWE, AEW, no matter what it is I believe I've read 50 years old, 50 to 55. That's the average wrestling fan's age. Not all these young kids who want to see the spot monkeys flip and fly around in AEW. There's more of the older wrestling fans than there are the new wrestling fans.
There are, because we're all hanging around wanting what we had.
If you add up NXT, Raw, and SmackDown's ratings, they're triple, sometimes quadruple what AEW gets with just 3 shows.
Come on, Eba. Don't be calling out 50 like that. Come on, dude. Jesus.
50?
I mean,
nothing wrong with being 50, pal. When they die off, wrestling's dead. No, the neckbeards will age up.
And then you'll have even
that's how it works.
Everywhere. Yeah, you'll have even shittier wrestling then.
Yes. You'll see Darby Allin at age 45. He went to a coffin drop. He'll do a sofa fall.
It will literally be a coffin drop, and they'll throw him in the ground right after.
He might be in a coffin by the time he's 45. He might be in a coffin, pal.
Yeah, he might be. Johnny, that's all that I have on my side of the street. Do you have any timber you want to throw this way, or are you done too? Is this?
Let me see what I got, pal. I got the 2 Rebby Hardy things. Everybody's talking about Katsusuke Shaka Okada. I just call him Okada.
The Okada thing. Yeah, the
Okada thing.
He's leaving, dude.
He's leaving New Japan. Tony Khan had a deal with New Japan, and it's pretty funny. What's that say, Lloyd? Older school fans are wrestling fans, and AEW fans are gymnastic fans. You got a point there, pal.
And we've said it a bunch of times on the show.
You got a point. You got a great point there.
They like the spot monkeys. Yeah, what do you think about Okada coming to be a free agent now that he's announced he's going to leave? Because quite frankly, that's one guy that I've heard about. I've never seen him. I'm not going to pretend that I've seen him.
Well, if you listen to David Autistic Meltzer, he'll try to convince you that Okada is the best wrestler on the planet. Darby's going to be a body marker on a mountain soon. Yes, he's going to climb around Everest, so he says. Yeah.
And no, I did not see the ringside news today on Facebook, but I'll have to check it out. Ringside
Steve Carrier, you need to follow. Anybody out there needs to hunt down Ringside News and Steve Carrier. Steve Carrier is a guy who owns Ringside News. And both of those Twitter accounts are they're very special. When Steve is deep in the cups, as they say. When he's deep in the cups.
My kind of guy.
Steve will mean tweet, he'll drunk tweet, and want to fight people. And it makes for quite a show.
Wait, is that the dude that tried to beat the shit out of Sean Ross Sapp? Or was going to, but his son was there?
Billy Body. That's Billy Body. Steve Carey's not beating the shit out of anybody. He'll shoot you first.
Calm down, buddy.
Yeah. He's Steve Carrier. He's got connections where he actually gets some good stories, but he's.
Colin said he was deep in the cups today. Hey, this is a good question from Alexander because this is what everybody's talking about. Is Okada coming for that bag or is he coming for the AEW cup? Idiots.
He's looking. If you're a Japanese wrestler in New Japan Pro Wrestling, you're looking to see how are they treating Io Sky? How are they treating Kairi Sane? How are they treating Asuka? Asuka is a revered performer.
The ones all at the top of the chain. All of those people, you mean?
Yes. How are they treating Shinsuke Nakamura? He just had a great run.
Guy at the top, you mean? All these people, they're all having major runs with the guys.
Exactly. They're all having major runs with this company. He wants to see all these Japanese people in New Japan Pro Wrestling want to see how they're being treated over in WWE as opposed to AEW. AEW is an action figure collection where he'll sign a guy, he'll have one match or two on TV, and then you'll never hear from him.
Forget about him. And I got somebody today, Jay White.
And that guy's making triple the money he made for New Japan.
Jay White. They have fumbled this guy since he got in the company. He suddenly got a major run. And
if you're not familiar with Jay White, folks, for those of you out there not familiar with his work, he came from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Yes.
He was a leader of the Bullet Club.
So he comes over to AEW. They fumble him right away. Then they finally recover and put him with an angle with MJF. Now he's a 6-man champion in a company
because he pissed and moaned backstage.
A company that doesn't have a TV contract.
He complained backstage.
A TV contract.
Right.
Ring of Honor has a goddamn TV championship with no TV channel. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
Hey, are you guys sad? Are you guys sad? I tell you what I can do for you. I'll just give you consolation prize. Here's a belt. Here's a belt. We got plenty of belts. Here's a belt for you. 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 Hey, catering. Hey, Trixie and catering. Here's a belt for you.
I can't get past the fact that the neckbeards were going crazy. We gotta get Okada. Oh, can you imagine WWE fans crying like this and pining over a wrestler from Japan? Like,
how would they bring him in? How would they bring him in?
Here's my take. I've heard of the guy. I don't know shit about the guy. I don't know if he's going to work in the WWE, the American style.
Stop for a second. He was in a tag team with Kenny Omega at New Japan Pro Wrestling years ago. I believe they were known as the Golden Lovers. Someone in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they were known as the Golden Lovers.
Well, was that the other guy that's already in AEW?
Who's that? Shibata?
Yeah.
The guy that Meltzer said they took his brain out and put it back in again?
Yes.
Meltzer actually said that. They took his brain out and put it back in again. He had a bad concussion. Golden showers.
There it is. I was waiting on that.
Oh, Kota Ibushi. Thanks, SoFly, for correcting me.
That's why I didn't think it was him. I thought it was the other guy.
Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega were the Golden Lovers. Kota Ibushi, folks, if you don't remember, rode that bicycle down during that big arena street fight with the Jericho guys.
I don't want to relive this. I do not want to relive this.
He was swinging the rubber pipe, hitting people in the head with it.
Anyway, that's the big free agent right now. Honestly, if the WWE gets him, I think that's going to be cool because they could use another influx of that because Shinsuke Nakamura, he's been around a little while. How can I miss you if you don't go away kind of thing? Like maybe you go on the shelf for a little while, right?
I found out a little something. Today. Let me bring this up about Kenny Omega while I'm here and Japanese wrestlers. Kenny Omega is a big fan of the, I think they're called Joshi girls, Japanese.
Yeah. Yes, I know. Wrestlers. Yes, I've heard all about it.
Yes. Riho is the current girlfriend. The ex-girlfriend is Hikaru Shida in AEW. They both work for the same company. Got them both in. How do you play that off? How do you work that? How do you work around that?
No, I don't want to talk about AEW's women's wrestling. It's already bad enough we talk about it. That shit is terrible.
This ties into Japanese wrestling, but go ahead.
No, it's terrible. It's just
talk about Okada.
No one watches this shit.
Talk about Okada, a guy that no one knows.
That's what I'm saying. Like
no one knows.
But here's the thing: the neckbeards do. The neckbeards do because every goddamn one of them swears they watch New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's why they draw 45 or 60,000 people in the U.S. No one watches that shit, but they all
no one
swear
watches
they
on
do.
Access TV. It almost
Every
got
one of
canceled
them
from Access
swears.
TV. It almost
Every
got
neckbeard
canceled.
swears. I watched New Japan. It's the greatest thing ever. No, you don't. No one does. Bunch of lying bitches. Scratching their necks, eating the goddamn Cheetos, screaming at the TV.
Naked from the waist down.
Just loving the lotion. Loving the lotion when they see Sky Blue. Or Kenny Omega, for that matter, for half of them, for sure.
Oh, hey, not that there's anything wrong with that.
Nothing's wrong with that. Just say it. They are glitter friends. Big Ray.
I don't know what it's just Okada wants his dream is to main event a WrestleMania. Good luck with that,
Shit,
pal. Good luck with that. But maybe you'll get on the card. But
okay,
a few years down the road. And someone said in the chat, Alexander said, I think Nakamura retires with WWE. I think you're right, Alexander, because he's making more money than he ever did doing virtually nothing compared to what he did in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Even WoW gets more Women of Wrestling, gets more viewers than, why'd you take it off so fast?
well, Johnny, because SmackDown's on and it's time to go home, my friend.
Who gives a shit about SmackDown?
I do tonight, pal.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm excited to watch this.
Who's on SmackDown tonight, pal? Who's on
Thank
SmackDown
you for
tonight?
watching, everyone. You know who's not on the show right now? Me.
Who's on SmackDown tonight?
Yeah, like Larry said, it's not even on in New Orleans right now, but it's on in my house. I'm going to go watch this show live. I love watching this show live.
You know who hates SmackDown?
Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Please like and subscribe. We
you know
joke
who would
around
like
a
and
lot.
subscribe to us? You know who would?
We joke around a lot, and please give us a like. It moves us up in the YouTube algorithm so you can find us. So people who are just looking for pro wrestling content will see us. We get our hands wavy like this, and we say, "Hey, come and see us." No, seriously, it helps with the YouTube algorithm where people can find us along the way in their journey for pro wrestling content on YouTube. And if you subscribe, that would be great. That actually moves us up a notch in the YouTube echelon. We're not making any money doing this, obviously not. I mean, I got a blurry
But it's
background.
fun. We like interacting.
I'm living in a bomb shelter somewhere.
I love it.
We like just sitting around having a few drinks, having a few beers, shooting a shit, and talking about wrestling. And we've got a great chat room every week. We've got a great audience, and we really do love you guys. We really do. We appreciate all our subscribers. And I got a little misty. I got a little misty, pal. I got a little misty. I appreciate you guys. We took this from nothing back in June of last year, and here we are now. And we've gotten nowhere fast. So
we're going nowhere, but we're making great time.
You know who made a great time?
I know who would have liked and subscribed.
Till next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.